Most people think failure is the finish line. They think it's a sign that they should stop, give up, walk away. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the end. Failure is the beginning. The beginning of mastery. The moment everything starts to change. If you choose to keep going, failure isn't a dead end. It's a lesson, a guide, a mirror showing you what still needs work. So often, we get this backward. We see a setback, and our first instinct is to think, this isn't for me. I'm not good enough. I should just quit. We treat failure like a judgment, a final verdict on our abilities. But it's not a verdict. It's feedback. It's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to adjust, to evolve, to grow. Think about it like this. If you were learning to navigate a maze, every wrong turn wouldn't be a reason to leave the maze forever. It would be valuable information. It would tell you, okay, that path doesn't work. Let me try another. Failure in life, in your career, in your craft, is exactly the same. It's just data. It's the universe pointing and saying, not that way. Try this way. Masters aren't people who never fail. That's a complete myth. Masters are simply the people who have failed more times than the beginner has even tried. They are individuals who learned from failure more than everyone else. They didn't see it as a wall. They saw it as a stepping stone. Every stumble was a chance to improve their balance. Every miss was a chance to refine their aim. Failure isn't your grave. It's your teacher. Every single person you admire today, every genius, every legend, every so-called naturally talented individual, they all started exactly where you are right now. They were once beginners. They were clumsy. They were awkward. They stumbled, they missed. They messed up over and over and over again. The musician you love once played sour notes that made people cringe. The athlete you watch in awe once tripped over their own feet. The brilliant coder once wrote scripts that crashed the entire system. The difference between them and the people who gave up wasn't a lack of failure. It was their reaction to it. Instead of quitting, they paid attention. They took the hit, they felt the sting of disappointment, and then they asked the most important question, what can I learn from this? They didn't run from the mistake. They studied it. They dissected it. They used it to fuel their next attempt. They improved, not in giant leaps, but in tiny, incremental steps. They came back stronger, a little wiser, a little more prepared. Their mastery wasn't built on a foundation of perfection. It was built on a mountain of mistakes. It was forged in the fire of countless failed attempts. They understood a secret that most people miss. The path to excellence is paved with imperfection. So the next time you feel like you're the only one struggling, remember that every master was once a disaster. Here's something we rarely talk about. Success hides weaknesses. Failure reveals them. When you're succeeding, everything feels great. You're in your comfort zone. You don't feel the need to push, to analyze, to question what you're doing. Why would you? It's working. Success keeps you comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Failure, on the other hand, forces you out of that comfort zone. It shines a bright, uncomfortable light on your weaknesses. It shows you exactly where your technique is flawed, where your understanding is incomplete, where your strategy is weak. Success feels good, but failure makes you better. The truth is, failure is one of life's greatest and most honest feedback systems. It's a brutally honest coach that doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about the truth. It shows you the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And here's the powerful part. Once you know that gap, once you can see it clearly, you can finally start to bridge it. Without failure, you're flying blind. You might feel like you're doing well, but you have no idea where your vulnerabilities are. Failure is the stress test that shows you the cracks in the foundation before the whole structure comes down. It's a gift, even though it comes wrapped in the painful paper of disappointment. Everyone wants mastery. Everyone wants to be at the top of their game, but very few are willing to endure the uncomfortable, messy, frustrating beginning. The world quits too early. Most people quit after the first, second, or third failure. They hit a roadblock, and instead of looking for a way around it, they just turn the car around and go home. And here's the tragedy. They don't quit because they can't succeed. They quit because they've been taught to believe that failure means stop, that it's a sign of defeat. But it's not. Failure means try again, but differently. Failure means you're getting closer. Failure means you're learning something crucial. Think about how many incredible discoveries, inventions, and works of art would never exist if their creators had quit at the first sign of trouble. The journey to mastery is a process of elimination. You're figuring out all the ways that don't work, so you can finally discover the one way that does. The ones who become masters are simply the ones who keep going long after everyone else has decided it's impossible. They are the ones who outlast the frustration. They are the ones who understand that persistence in the face of failure is the true secret ingredient. Ultimately, your entire future is defined by one thing: your relationship with failure. If you fear it, you will avoid risks. You'll stay small. You'll never push your boundaries, and you'll never discover what you're truly capable of. You'll live in a cage of your own making, afraid to even try. But when you stop fearing failure, you become unstoppable. When you learn to see it not as an enemy but as an ally, the entire game changes. When you stop avoiding discomfort, you start growing at an exponential rate. When you stop seeing failure as a source of shame, you begin to see it as a badge of honor, sign that you're in the arena, that you're daring greatly. Mastery doesn't belong to the most talented person. It doesn't belong to the luckiest person. Mastery belongs to the person who can fall down 7 times and get up 8. It belongs to the person who can fail spectacularly on Monday and still show up on Tuesday, more determined and focused than they were the day before. Your resilience is your greatest asset. Change your relationship with failure, and you will change your destiny. Building mastery takes time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon run over years, even decades. It requires patience. It requires endless repetition. It requires a deep and unwavering consistency, especially on the days you don't feel like it. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens one mistake at a time, one lesson at a time, one small adjustment at a time. You're not behind. You're not losing. You're just in the beginning stage. And beginnings are supposed to be messy. They're supposed to be clumsy and full of errors. That's how learning works. You have to be willing to be a fool in the beginning to become a master in the end. So be patient with yourself. Acknowledge the small wins. Trust the process, even when it feels slow and frustrating. Every single attempt, whether it succeeds or fails, is a brick being laid in the foundation of your future expertise. Failure is not the enemy. It is the invitation. It is the door. It is the pathway to greatness. So don't quit. Don't stop. Don't let one setback, or even 100 setbacks, define your destiny. Every time you fail, you're not breaking down. You're being shaped. You're being sharpened. You're becoming someone capable of things you once thought were impossible. Failure isn't the end. It's the beginning of your mastery. Embrace it, learn from it, rise through it, and keep moving forward. Your greatness is in the making. Thanks for watching.